Well, hello again everybody. Some time ago when I made a video working on the Suzuki Intruder trying to fit the sissy bars on the back, I had a comment from someone who said I should really be concentrating on working on one bike at a time, and that made a lot of sense to me. So I paused work on this and I concentrated on the Triumph, but I think in retrospect that was not the best decision, because it's a lovely sunny day today and the Suzuki's still in bits and not really rideable. But there's another problem beyond the issue with the sissy bar and the back indicators not being connected, and that's the starter motor. Now, through last summer I was having occasional starting issues. Sometimes I'd turn the key and the starter motor wouldn't engage, and usually that was solved quite easily by putting it into second, rocking it backwards and forwards a little bit, and then she'd start up, which I think indicates that there is a little problem with the starter motor. Now, through the winter I've tried to start her up occasionally just to keep things circulating. I managed a couple of times, but the last time I tried I could not get her to start, and that rocking backwards and forwards trick was sort of working less and less as time went on. So I think the crunch has come and I've got to have a look at replacing or rebuilding perhaps the starter motor. So the first thing to do is to take the starter motor out, and before I do that I've got to disconnect the battery, or at least disconnect the negative lead from the battery. And of course on this bike, as you know, that is a bit of a faff. So anyway, I'm going to crack on with that first. So just to recap, that involves removing the rectifier and dropping the battery lid thing under here, and then getting 3 fingers through a little tiny hole in there to the negative terminal on the battery. It's not easy, but it's something we do find ourselves doing quite a lot. Now the starter motor, I believe, is underneath this cover, so just pop these 2 nuts off. There's one on the other side as well, and hopefully that cover will slide off and give us access to the starter. Well folks, I need a 7mm open-ended spanner to get this nut undone. Yeah, I can't get anything else in there without disconnecting this, which I don't really want to do. And I can't find my 7mm spanner anywhere. And I've been hunting for quite some time. I am painfully aware that this garage is in a little bit of disarray, and it is on my list to have a big tidy up in here. I think I'm going to have to get rid of quite a lot of stuff, which is a bit painful because I got rid of a lot of stuff before, and what's left in here is what I thought I really needed to keep, but it is getting a little bit unworkable. Anyhow, I will return to this once I've sourced a 7mm spanner. Well, it's a few days later and it's a gorgeous sunny day, just the sort of day it would be much better to be out riding on the Suzuki Intruder than working on it, but it's inspiring me to get it going so I can use this bike through the summer. There's not much really to do, but I do need to sort out this starter motor. I ordered myself a 7mm spanner, but it seemed to be taking ages to come, so yesterday we drove out and we were by Halford, so I bought a Halford 7mm spanner, and of course when I got home the parcel was waiting for me with the one that I ordered online. And no doubt I'll find the lost one in the garage soon, so then I'll have 3, but 3 is still better than none. Right, now we should be able to get this off, no problem. There you go, much easier with the correct tool. Well, it is now hitting on there. The book certainly doesn't say anything about having to take that off. Maybe we do. Oh, so near and yet so far. Well, interesting. No, there's absolutely no mention in my Haynes manual of having to disconnect anything else. It says to remove the cover. It is definitely not happening with that in place though, is it? Now I believe this is a coolant pipe, I think, isn't it? So yeah, taking that off is gonna make a bit of a mess. Maybe changing all the coolant is something we should be doing anyway. But no, that is not coming off. Well, handily, my Haynes manual does have a section for coolant tubes. Removal and installation is section 9. However, rather helpfully, the coolant system chapter ends with section 8, which is the last section in that chapter. Then we go on to fuel and exhaust. So yeah, it's the missing section. Anyhow, I'm thinking it shouldn't really be beyond us to work it out. So I'm gonna drain the coolant out of the bike. I've never done that with this bike. I've had it a couple of years. Still got the coolant in that I bought it with. So it probably is something that we should do. Okay, well, the coolant flows through the frame on these bikes, so the drain plug is actually in the frame. I think you might just be able to see it. Not there. There. So, yeah, gotta get right underneath and undo that to drain out the coolant. This is where some sort of bike lift would be handy, wouldn't it? Yeah, if only we had space for one. Well, there's only been a tiny little dribble come out of that drain plug, and that's actually a very good sign. That means that we've got no leaks in the coolant system letting air in, so the water can't get out. So what we're going to do is get the radiator cap off. Now the radiator cap is behind this ornamental cover, so the first job is to get that cover off. Well, a little bit of break in the proceedings because Nicky's actually bought me out some 11s. Well, that was very nice. Right, back to work. Right, now I think we should be able to remove these. 8mm this is. Right, I'm hoping now this will just wobble out of the way because it is on a rubbery hose further down. Yes, look at that. Perfect. This should be able to get this out now. with one of my many 7mm spanners. Go on then, why is this so irretrievably wedged in here? Now, put this nut safe and have a fiddle with that in a minute. Right, well, according to the book, all we should have to do is to disconnect the starter cable. Don't forget, we've already got the battery disconnected. And then undo these two, and we should be able to extract the starter. Now, I'm a bit concerned about this bolt here. It doesn't feel it. They're 8mm, but the 8mm ring spanner doesn't feel perfectly snug on it, and it's tight, so I can feel like it might round off if I push it too hard. So I really want to get a socket on it, but of course everything's way too close. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to take this sort of housing off here. I think it should be fairly straightforward. Yeah, let's have a look, see if we can do that. Well, I think we should now be able to just slide that starter motor out, but yeah, that might take a little bit of doing because I don't suppose it's been out for many years. Well, there we go. That is the starter motor out. I'm quite pleased I managed to get that out without causing any damage or anything. It's always a bit worrying on these bikes that are approaching 40 years old. Maybe that's the first time this has ever been out and some of those nuts have ever been undone. Anyhow, I think that's about as far as we're going to get today. Young Mia is coming around now and we've got a rocket to build. So yeah, we'll see you again in the next one, where I'll perhaps try and find out what's wrong with the starter motor, what sort of state it's in.